So we're here talking a lot about SEO, how to make it work and how it all works. What is the process when a client comes to you for the first time? What do you do?
So if a client wants to engage us for SEO, typically we'll have a conversation around who their customers are, what they're expecting, what do they want to achieve from it.
Mm-hmm.
If that aligns with what we want to do, which is generally just deliver leads or sales to the customer, we will then undertake a basic audit of that website to see whether we can add value from an SEO campaign.
All right.
So generally we'll have a look at what do we think the keywords, what do we think their existing clients, or their prospective clients will be searching for online?
Yeah.
How does that business show up online?
Mm-hmm.
Who are their biggest competitors? How optimized is their website? How much work do we need to do on it to get the website ranking? So we'll do this like mini audit on the site to determine, we could add significant value here from an SEO point of view.
Okay.
Once we've done that audit, we'll go back to the client and say, this is what we've found from an audit. This is how much we think it's going to cost to get you ranking for these keywords.
Yep.
We'll put forth a proposal, and then that client will say yes or no.
Okay.
Now, if they say yes, the process from there is when we undertake onboarding.
Yeah. And get that process started.
Yeah.
What does a client sort of have to do? What is their responsibilities when it comes to starting the onboarding? What do they need? What do they need to have ready for you?
Yeah, so generally once we've got them on board, we need access to all their site if they haven't given it to us already. So generally during the audit process, we'll get access to at least the back end of the site just to see what we're dealing with.
Sure.
Now, we typically only work on WordPress sites from an SEO point of view. Anything else, we can do it, obviously, because SEO is independent of what CMS you have, content management system, that you have. But we would generally recommend WordPress because it is the most supported from the development community and makes SEO a lot easier.
Okay.
And a lot quicker for the client. So generally all they need to have ready is just their website logins for us to have a look at. We can run most of our tests without them, but generally we'll get all the access to the site, and then we can start to onboard them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you even mean by onboarding then?
Yeah, so onboarding involves so let's give them an idea, give people an idea of what would the first 3 months of an SEO campaign look like. So you've made the decision to go ahead, you've picked a company, and you're kind of going, okay, well now what? How does this process start?
What's going to happen?
Yeah, what's going to happen? So from that point, we do a full technical audit to get a lay of the land of what are we actually dealing with here, and we go really deep. We go deep on things like, are there any broken links on the site? What's the page speed like? Like what sort of server are you using to load the site? Because page speed is an important factor. How much content is on the site? How's it all linked internally? We go deep on a lot of technical issues because the first part of any SEO campaign is what they call on-site optimization. So that's making sure that the website itself is performing well. It's structured in the best possible way to communicate to Google precisely what it's all about. You've got the right content on it. The page structures are set up correctly. Like on-site optimization, getting the website ready is kind of the benchmark because everybody has control over their own website, and therefore everybody should be able to have a website that is perfectly structured in the eyes of Google and that will deliver the right content to the right people. That's absolute number one because that's what you have control over. So the first couple of months involves us doing a full technical audit, getting to understand where the gaps are and the work that needs to be undertaken, reporting that back to the client to say, hey, this is what we've discovered. This is our plan of attack now, moving forward for the next couple of months. So we'll be able to give that client an idea of what work's going to be undertaken in those first couple of months. A lot of sites that we deal with are very light on content, and they need to have a lot more content written for them.
Right. So they've been pretty much basically a business card.
Yep.
And they need to start actually pulling their weight as a website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which
is adding extra content, making that content match into the keywords that you're looking at. Because I guess if there's no point in doing an SEO campaign in keywords if the website's not right. If the website's not going to work for you.
Yeah, and it's only through that content that you communicate what your website's all about. So content is the ultimate, it's the most important thing when it comes to an SEO campaign, is having the right content. But it's not trying to write the content and manipulate it for a search engine. It's writing really good, valuable content that users are going to get value out of. And Google's algorithm is very good at being able to pick that up, being able to discern whether you're writing content trying to manipulate the search results or whether you're writing content for the sake of your user. And they're getting better and better at it.
See, so that's the thing that I always laugh at when I come to a website and they constantly keep on saying, so-and-so business in so-and-so suburb and so-and-so does this because we're in this suburb and we're this business. They sort of say it 3 or 4 times and it's so hard to read and it's so frustrating to read because you can see that they're just doing everything they possibly can to work into the keywords. Google can see that, can't they?
Yeah, they're getting better at seeing that. I mean, ultimately you still need to kind of have the content needs to be about the topic you're trying to rank for. And so that might include service and suburb, so whatever it is. There are more, you can fit that content in with more finesse nowadays. For example, you could have at the bottom of the page, frequent searches leading to this page include, and then put all your keywords there at the bottom of the page. So you can, you know, that's a more graceful way of having that on the page. And you know, if the user, and it provides value to the user, because if the user scrolls down and has a look and be like, oh yeah, well, that's frequent search leading to this page, that's my search term. But it doesn't pollute the sort of body of the content.
Which makes it tough to read and sort of doesn't really give the audience, you know, the target people that, you know, are hopefully going to spend money with you, give them what they want. So is that what the first 3 months is really about? The details, making sure everything is set up and ready to go so that you can get the best out of your campaign?
Yeah, and typically the business owner won't see much increase from a rank point of view. So what I mean by that is if we pick 10 keywords that we're going to rank the website for, and let's say the business website doesn't rank for any of those 10 keywords, they're not in the first 10 pages of Google, right? So what you'll find is in the first 2 to 3 months of the campaign, there'll be zero movement on those keywords, because we're not actually focused on, trying to rank those keywords straight away. We're trying to focus on the long-term strategy and say, what is our ultimate goal and objective here, and what is the work that we need to undertake to be able to rank those keywords to number 1. And typically that's sitting down with the business owner, getting a good understanding of the customer that they're trying to target, what that customer is searching for, and then looking at the gaps in content. Now at Yo Media, we've got content writers here who they're trained journalists, and they will write the content required for those users in a very engaging way. So without a lot of that keyword stuffing.
All adding in extra unnecessary words.
So they'll write that content, they'll write really engaging stuff, and then, you know, that's when we send that content live and Google picks up on that, that's when you start to see the increase in rank. And because Google looks at the site and goes, oh, there's some really good content there. It's written in an authoritative manner. There's a whole bunch of metrics and measurements that Google use to determine what that content is, and we've got tools that can we'll take a body of content, drop it into the tool, and we'll get readouts on, is it easy to read, are there transition words in there, have you got too long sentences, blah blah blah. So we can
get that long list.
We can craft that content.
One of the things that happened when we were going through my website and working through my keywords, you actually said to me as well, we can aim for that, but you actually may not have the capacity to handle that as well. So you also have to look at the size of the business and, you know, I guess the niche and the details of the business itself as well, because businesses shouldn't really be aiming to, you know, have the top and have all of the big keywords if, you know, they're still a small business and might not be able to have the capacity to deal with all the leads as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that issue, because then you pay for a bunch of leads that you can't service. I've seen SEO strategies fall over where the website has ranked really well for very valuable keywords, and then through the use of phone tracking, so that is we can record all the phone calls that the business receives to tell the business owner where the call came from. Was it from SEO? Was it from direct traffic? Was it from your AdWords campaign? It records the phone call as well, so the business owner can listen back to see, was that a genuine lead? And
that's awesome.
And so we can get a full idea and understanding of what is the return coming from this campaign, and not just phone calls, but emails as well, any email inquiries that come in. So, but then, you know, I've listened back to phone calls on behalf of clients, and they'll answer the phone just straight up, hello, and then you can hear the other person being like, is this such and such? And they're like, yep. And they're like, I just need a quote, and literally what you're doing there is I cringe. I'm like, and then you kind of go, well, just because you rank doesn't mean you're going to have a successful return on investment. You need to make sure that you're answering the phones right. And I might be telling a lot of business owners how to suck eggs here, but you've got to absolutely answer the phone right, because once it transitions from your marketing, your lead generation, across to your sales process, you need a strong sales process to be able to capitalize on those leads coming in.
Yeah, true. So there's a lot that comes into play in those first 3 months.
Yep.
You know, you may not rank straight away, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're not going to at all, and that your SEO company isn't sort of doing their job. They're just working on the details and making sure everything is in place, which is what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what you should expect in your first 3 months, is a robust strategy development process happening to really get an understanding of what does success look like, who are the people that you want to sell to, what are we going to rank for, where are the gaps, what needs to be undertaken now that we have a good understanding of your website. So that's typically the first couple of months of a campaign. Yeah, which is why you generally won't see the return coming through. You won't see this flood of leads coming through, and you just need to be patient, because to do it right, it takes time. If you want leads straight away and instantly, do Google AdWords. Do Google Ads. Just pay for Google Ads, get to number 1 within an hour for the keywords that you want to rank for, have really good quality ad copy there. That's how you can get there straight away. And that's a good strategy. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, because now not only you're paying someone to manage it, you're also paying Google to advertise.
I was about to say.
But you can do that for the first 3 months while your SEO campaign picks up, 3 to 6 months. So you can have the number 1, get the leads coming in straight away, and then at the back end have your SEO company working on the SEO to get you to number 1, and then switch the ads off and run with the SEO campaign. We've had clients do that. But yeah.